More on the Supreme Court abortion pill case.
Sean Diddy Combs' attorney releases a statement after the raids on his house.
And the Midwest is getting more snow in the first week of spring than all winter.
Broadcasting live from the University of North Texas, this is ntTV News at Noon.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining ntTV News at Noon. I'm Sydney Johnson.
And I'm Marshall Farmer.
The fate of the most widely used abortion medication in the country is now in the hands of the U.S. Supreme Court. The 9 justices heard 90 minutes of arguments today in a lawsuit against the Food and Drug Administration, challenging their right to make it easier to buy the medication. CNN's Amy Kiley has more from Washington.
It's likely the most important abortion case since the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. Today, the justices hearing oral arguments about mifepristone. The plaintiffs and their supporters argue the FDA broke the law by letting patients get it through telehealth and the mail.
Just because you are sitting in California does not mean that you are not violating the laws of Florida, Texas, and 30 other states.
Laws do vary by state. New York actively protects doctors who send mifepristone to places that ban it.
First month, we sent about 4,000 pills into restricted states, and now we're up to around 10,000 pills a month.
This study shows nearly 1 in 10 abortions in the first 6 months post-Dobbs involved telehealth and mifepristone. The drug is one reason abortions actually increased after that ruling. Pills now account for almost 2/3 of U.S. abortions. Providers say buried in those statistics are stories of people who want to give birth but suffer health complications. They argue obstacles to abortion put them at risk.
Those delays are really scary for an OBGYN. Things tend to go bad quickly.
Some drug makers say they worry the case could set a precedent for more legal challenges to FDA approvals. They say that uncertainty could reduce investments in other types of new drugs. I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
It seems that Biden has help from an old friend for his 2024 campaign. Former President Barack Obama met with Biden Friday for a meeting on the 14th anniversary of the Affordable Care Act. Obama has agreed to several campaign appearances with Biden before November, including a star-studded Manhattan fundraiser on Thursday.
Trump yesterday announced that he is selling Bibles for $60. Named God Bless the USA Bible, it includes a King James Bible with a copy of the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, the Declaration of Independence, and the Pledge of Allegiance. In his video on Truth Social, Trump said that religion and Christianity are the biggest things missing from this country, with claims that Christians are under siege in the United States. He ended his video saying to, quote, "Make America pray again." This comes one day after Trump's hush-money criminal trial was set to begin on April 15th. A gag order was also placed on Trump, preventing him from speaking about participants in the trial, with the New York judge citing his history of threatening and inflammatory remarks.
A federal appeals court yesterday ruled a controversial Texas immigration law will remain blocked while the legal challenges play out. The court is considering whether the law violates the U.S. Constitution. It lets state officials arrest, detain, and deport people they believe entered the U.S. illegally. Last week, the Supreme Court allowed the law to take effect, only to be blocked again by the appeals court hours later. The Biden administration argues immigration policy is the right of the federal government alone. Texas claims the right to prosecute crimes involving illegal entry across its borders. The appeals court will hear arguments on April 3rd as it considers whether the hold will stay in place.
You know, Sydney, this weather this week has been nothing but just unpredictable. I mean, Monday it was nice and warm, and then yesterday it was below freezing in the morning.
Man, tell me about it. Texas weather always keeps us on our toes. Let's ask our weather anchor, Erica Mbagu, how the rest of the day is looking. Erica?
Yes, it seems like the weather has been a bit unpredictable for today. For today's temperatures, we're looking at a cold yet slightly sunny temperature at 55 degrees, and we're experiencing wind at 12 miles per hour. For tonight's conditions, we are experiencing a bit of some showers at a degree at For tonight's conditions, we are experiencing some showers at 56 degrees, coming from winds at the northeast at 7 miles per hour. And for tomorrow's conditions, it seems like we are experiencing a bit of some sunshine, so that's a good thing, at 71 degrees. And it seems like we're experiencing some wind at 10 miles per hour at the southeast. And that's all I have for current conditions. I'll be back with you for the full weather report. Back to you at the desk.
Thank you, Erica. A Baltimore bridge collapsed early yesterday morning, with 6 people are still missing and presumed dead, one of which is Menor Yasir Suazo Sandoval. The 38-year-old father of 2 was one of the 8 people working on the Francis Scott Key Bridge when a ship collided with it. His family says Sandoval was originally from Honduras, but lived in the U.S. for the last 18 years. He was married with an 18-year-old son and a 5-year-old daughter. The search for the victims on Tuesday night was suspended due to inclement weather. While they are holding out hope Suazo will be found alive, at this point, they just want his body recovered. The other victims of this tragic encounter include 2 Guatemalan nationals, an El Salvador immigrant, and a Mexican nationals.
A shipment of Colombian avocados were discovered to contain 1.7 tons of cocaine.
And a monster blizzard tears through the Midwest.
All right, look up here. 1, 2, 3. Mom, Dad, I got it.
You're right, Mom. I have.
Has this ever happened to you?
My bike! My bike is gone!
Stolen bikes are an epidemic sweeping college campuses across America.
What am I supposed to do?
It's quite simple. The We Mean Green Fund has partnered with the UNT Police Department to offer free bike locks to any UNT student with a bike. Just show up with your bike in tow and ask.
Now I'll never lose my bike ever again.
Enough worrying. Get your bike lock today.
Good evening, my name is Amanda Hasbell and I'm joining you here today in the Union Parking Garage. Today we're going to be going over how to drive safely in the parking garage. Let's go see. Oh my god, this girl just got hit by a car. Let's go see what happened. Ma'am, are you okay? Are you okay?
Did you see that lady hit me with a car?
Yeah, we did. I got it all on video.
Oh my god.
Let's go over here and talk about how we can prevent that.
Yeah, not the hospital.
Well, right now we're going to ask you a couple questions on how we can drive safely in the parking lot. What are ways that we can be aware of our surroundings?
Oh, we can look both ways.
Jenna, also, how about putting the distractions away?
Yes, just like our phones, turning our music down, and also not focusing on our passengers.
Where can you get information on how to get a parking pass?
Transportation.unt.edu.
If you park in a garage, make sure you pay on the app or look for further instructions on how you should pay.
And remember, no pass, no park. Let's all try to keep our mean green community safe.
Remember, we're all in this together.
Drive safe.
Did he do it or did he not? An attorney for Sean Diddy Combs is speaking out following the federal raids on the musician's Miami and LA homes on Monday. Combs' attorney said in a statement yesterday that there was, quote, no excuse for the show of force by law enforcement agencies at the homes. The attorney claims Combs' children and employees were not treated well and that there was hostility in serving the search warrants. The statement notes there were no arrests and no travel restrictions on Combs or his family. Combs' attorney said his client is innocent and will work to clear his name. A federal law enforcement source said Combs is under investigation for human trafficking.
The Colombian National Police seized 1.7 tons of cocaine hidden in a shipment of avocados heading to Portugal. This is according to the Director General of the institution, William René Salamanca, in a post on X. The drugs were found in the port of Santa Marta and were headed for Setúbal, Portugal. This is not the first time Colombian authorities have found cocaine in avocado shipments. In March 2020, the National Police found 468 kilograms of this drug in a shipment set to leave Santa Marta for Belgium, according to local media reports at the time. The report on cocaine prepared in 2023 by the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, states that the majority of seizures of this drug in South America occur in maritime transport, with air and land transport far behind.
Millions of people started this week under the clouds of stormy weather. In Minnesota, State Patrol reported several crashes on Monday and 2 deaths from hazardous road conditions. Emily Schmidt has more on the season-swapping winter weather pushing spring to the sidelines.
This week, millions of people are watching winter show up out of bounds. Out of season, almost out of nowhere.
We had those 70-degree temps not too long ago. I thought that was pretty much it.
This ski area just outside of Minneapolis knows the cold truth of a so-called winterless winter, where only 11.1 inches of snow fell in December, January, and February.
19 winters of doing this. This is probably the most challenging winter I've seen in my experience.
Now Minneapolis's first week of spring is officially snowier than all of winter. It attracted an out-of-state snow removal company to test out the kind of snow not falling close to home.
We're not getting much snow this time of year. We decided we'd come up, help some friends out here.
The Minnesota State Patrol reported more than 460 crashes on the roads, while spring breakers pinned their hopes in the air.
I'm so excited. I hate the snow. I want the beach. I want the hot weather. We're ready to go.
The Northeast is recovering from its own storm. Central Maine Power says it fielded more than 770 emergency calls on Sunday after Saturday's ice storm impacted power to about 200,000 customers. The company vows work to restore power to everyone will continue, quote, round the clock. At least a clock can be counted on when the seasons seem all mixed up. I'm Emily Schmidt reporting.
With the weather being so inconsistent this past week, I'm really hoping the temperatures can calm down for the rest of the week.
Man, I totally agree. I'm keeping my fingers crossed for good weather so I can schedule my grad picks. Let's toss it over to Erica Mbagwu for this week's forecast. Erica?
It seems like there might be a bit of some hope. We are experiencing some temperatures at the 50s with the highs of 56 and a lot of lows at 53. And looking across the local map, we are experiencing a lot of different weathers. We're experiencing the highs at 60 in Houston and a lot of lows, and especially a low at 37 in Oklahoma City. And looking towards a 7-day forecast, it seems like we might be getting a bit of some hope this weekend. We're experiencing a temperature of 63 for current conditions as for today. And then it seems like throughout the week, it seems like it gets a little bit hotter and maybe clear skies and everything like that. We're experiencing a high of 84 right over here, and we're experiencing a low at 63 right over here as well. So it seems like there might be some hope for this week. And that's all I have for the full weather report. Back to you at the desk.
Later, a perfect bracket for the NCAA tournament.
And for Women's History Month, a biopic about the first female presidential candidate.
So a man's been walking in the desert for days at a time. He finally comes across a bar and orders a Coke.
That's not funny.
Eh? Eh?
Hey Alex, this guy on the internet says he wants to give me money.
That sounds suspicious.
What do you mean?
Typically, strangers who promise you money on the internet have their own best interest in mind. They often use bounced checks, which will disappear shortly after depositing, but not before they've asked for some money in return.
So he doesn't really want to spoil me?
No.
Well, then what should I do?
The best way to handle it is to block and report the suspicious message, or even consult local law enforcement if you've already fallen victim.
So I guess we aren't going to Key West for spring break.
No.
Photography is a creative outlet for many people across the world. And for UNT freshman Kate Jankowsko, it's also a career. Here's a look at her unique journey through concert photography.
For some, photography is a hobby. For Kate Jankowsko, it's a passion and career.
I was at the Barricade at a Smashing Pumpkins concert, and I saw a girl who looked close to my age, so I tapped her on the shoulder, and she was in the photo pit, and I basically just asked her what she did to get there. She directed me to her media team, and I submitted an application, and now I'm working at Off Record Blog as a photojournalist.
At each concert, Kate takes from 500 to 2,000 photos. She then edits the photos, looking for good shots and something that excites her.
When I look at the photo and I'm smiling, I scroll through the photos, and you can kind of tell when something is super duper crisp. It's freezing perfectly in time. I think it's just, you kind of have an eye for, what feels the most real in that moment, what feels the most exciting. The energy in the photo is really important for me, just kind of looking at it like, what photo excites me the most, what makes me feel the most emotion when I look at it. And usually when I'm scrolling through it, it will bring me a smile, or it'll be like a boost of serotonin for me when I see that photo.
In April, Kate is planning to shoot 7 concerts, including the Foo Fighters and Malcolm Todd. Music is a very fun way to express yourself. It influences people all around the world.
And tomorrow is a very special day in the music world. There's also a lot of music-related events happening on campus right now. Our live shot reporter Tristan Ollie has more. Tristan?
Thanks, guys. For anyone keeping track at home, tomorrow, March 28th, is the 88th day of the year, which means it's World Piano Day. This day was selected because a piano typically features 88 keys, and the day was created to share the joy of playing piano and music as a whole. The piano was invented in the 1700s by Bartolomeo Cristofori, and it has filled our world with music ever since. If you do have piano fever, anyone of any skill level can hop on and play on the piano right behind me in the Union. If piano isn't your thing, but you're still in a musical mood, be sure to check out some of the great events coming up here at UNT. There's a free concert Friday, March 29th, featuring a mystery artist at the Library Mall. And I hope y'all are ready to take on the mic, as there's a karaoke night Monday, April 1st in the Syndicate, as well as an open mic night Monday, April 8th, also in the Syndicate. That's all I've got for you today. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Tristan. I don't know why, Marshall, but I'm feeling very tired.
Yeah, me too. Insomnia can be a real pain. But fortunately for us, our segment anchor, Aaron Sharp, may have the solution for us insomniacs. Aaron?
Thanks, guys. I too have been feeling quite exhausted lately, but we might have a solution. Researchers at Reykjavik University in Iceland have conducted a new sleep study. This study shows people who exercise regularly sleep better. Reykjavik researchers followed more than 4,300 people over a 10-year period. The study found people who exercised on a regular basis were 55% more likely to be normal sleepers, meaning they slept on average between 6 and 9 hours a night. Some U.S. researchers say this new study may provide doctors with a new tool to prescribe alongside medication and therapy to help patients who suffer from insomnia. If you have had trouble sleeping lately, you can try taking a short walk outside or visiting Pool Recreation Center here at UNT for some exercise. That's all I have. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Aaron. March has had its fair share of madness, and after the first 2 rounds of the NCAA tournament, just 4 perfect brackets remain, and they're all in the women's tournament. NCAA.com says there were more than 4 million entries across major online games for the women's tournament. After 48 games, Yahoo Sports has 1 perfect bracket left, and ESPN has 3. There were 1,300 perfect brackets going into the second round, and there are no remaining perfect brackets left for the men's tournament, which resumes on Thursday. The women's tournament picks back up on Friday, and both the men and women have arrived at the Sweet 16 portion of the tournament. Marshall, have you kept up with the NCAA tournament this season?
No, personally, I haven't, but I have been hearing a lot of chatter about basketball. So let's go ahead and toss it over to our anchor, Drew Maurer, for all of the insiders. Drew?
That's right, guys. There's going to be some NCAA action tomorrow night, but for today, I'll recap last night's craziness in Dallas pro sports as the Mavericks and Stars brought home big wins. So don't go anywhere.
We return to Fabric of Passion.
Oh, Hector, it will be so hard for us to part, but we must.
But, my love, what did I do? I thought we were meant to be together forever.
I am so disheartened to say that you're just not in style anymore. But you will be, to someone else, in a better place.
You're gonna shred me?
No.
I'm donating you to one of the many clothing donation boxes available on campus. There is one in the Union by the Syndicate and one on Union Circle Drive.
Oh, well, why didn't you just say so? I'm gonna be someone's new shirt.
I thought you'd be more distressed.
Oh, absolutely not. It was cramped in your closet anyways.
Maybe you would like to be shredded after all.
The do's and don'ts of the Pole Rec Center. See that man over there? Please do not hog weights. Instead, do this. Another important part is having an attentive spotter. See, here is an example of a non-attentive spotter. Instead, do this. Now we head to the track, which should be pretty easy, just it's important to pay attention to the way the track goes. Remember to wipe down the equipment after you're done using it. The towels are provided by the gym, so it's pretty easy to wipe down the equipment when you are done. Thank you for using the Pole Recreation Center.
Dallas Mavericks took on the Kings in Sacramento last night. A huge game for the Mavs with their seeding and the fate of the universe on the line. You better hit it, and it was a blowout. So let's jump into the highlights. Luka, step back 3, and of course, he hits it. Who's surprised? Another spot for Luka here, top of the key. What's he going to do? Oh, he's going to drill 3. Yep, there it is right there. Now into the second half, Kyrie on the block on the key there. He's going to pull up, and he splashes it. Not much room, but he made it work. Luka drives, pulls up from the low block, and he drills it. Big shock. Luka goes to the bench for a little bit, gets a breather. Kyrie passed half court. Is he going to pass it? No, he's not. He's going to take it in the lane and acrobatically throws it up there. Kyrie is just so much fun to watch. Here he comes again on the top of the key, splashing a 3, and that was about it. Kid emptying the bench, and the Mavericks win it big, 132 to 196. Mavs play the Kings again on Friday night in Sacramento, trying to hold on to their playoff spot for a little bit longer. While most of us were watching the Mavs last night, the Stars were also in a crucial West Coast battle. The Stars took on the struggling San Jose Sharks, and they've been struggling against the Sharks in the past couple weeks, so let's take a look and see how it went last night. Mason Marchment doubles up, scoring for the Stars on a shot from the right wing. Nice one there, and then early second period as we see that again. Oh my gosh, that's a nice one. Robertson comes on the wing here, and he drills it in. 3-0 for the Stars, getting ahead early, but the Sharks come storming back as Barbanov hits one here to make it 4-3, and then the Stars come back. A nice shot there from Johnson to the rescue, and then it was all about wraps from there. Miro over to Robertson for the goal, and Stars win it 6-3. Big one there. So We'll go ahead and move on to UNT softball. UNT softball played last night in Arlington. Big game for them as the Mean Green dug themselves out of a hole, a 3-run hole down the stretch. UNT opened the scoring in the first inning with a homer from Michaela Smith, who's been on a tear as of late, but the Mavericks tallied 4 runs in the bottom of the third. Celine Donahoe scored on an error play in the fourth, and the Mean Green continued to take advantage of those errors as they rallied 5 more scores and grabbed the win 7-3 in Arlington. An impressive night on the mound as well, as starting pitcher Mackenzie Childers lasted 7 innings, and in those 7 innings she struck out 7 batters and earned 0 runs. The girls play again tomorrow night in Tampa against South Florida, and they continue their conference play there. That's all I've got here for sports. Now back to y'all at the desk.
Thanks, Drew. In Hollywood news, Regina King is starring in a new film titled Shirley. The film follows Shirley Chisholm and her involvement in politics, including her 1972 presidential campaign. The Emmy Award-winning actress said she's disappointed that many people don't know about Shirley's story, and she plans to change that. The movie was released on Netflix this past Friday and is rated PG-13. Thanks for watching ntTV News at noon.
Join us again tonight at 6 and tomorrow at noon here on North Texas Television.